I've called the governor of Delta. I've spoken with the governor of those states. I said, my brother, I'm no longer interested. I will not be involved again in a do settlement. And I've told the brother, I'm not no longer interested in it. Whatever people want to do, go and do. It's your business. I'm no longer interested. Now, the issue of Edo, like I've told PDP, we must handle the matter carefully. I don't believe in all these the Abuja politicians. I don't believe in people who will say one thing here, they are doing a different thing here. I don't believe in people who want something from you. When they get it from you, they say different. I don't believe in that. And nobody can convince me and tell me. All I told PDP, the National Working Committee, look, be careful. Therefore, handle it carefully. Carry everybody along. Let the state, let the aspirant be involved. I'm from the south side, and I want to challenge PDP. State is the only state we never wavered. It's the only state that the present government Buhari now have 25%. That is why we are suffering what we are suffering today. All other states, they gave. So we are suffering it. So I can talk. And nobody in PDP can intimidate the River State. Nobody can intimidate the River State. Now, the matter in court you are talking about, what's the matter in court? I was the one who called Governor Kowa. I was one who called Governor of Edo State. See what I'm experiencing. See. They should ask the governor of Edo State. I called him. I said, check. See what I had. He called me back. I said, they said there's nothing like that. I said, no, I don't agree with that. Call back. Find out from your contact. There's something going on. Federal High Court is not it's not River State High Court. Even if it's River State High Court, like people will say, he have no control over them. They are judges. Then I said, because they came to River State and got a Federal High Court River State and got an order, therefore I'm aware. But they also forgot that the governor of Edo State, OBASEKI, they came to here, Federal High Court here. When they were fighting with the Chimuli about the House of Assembly matter, they got an order. Are you saying that I was the one who was responsible? I told OBASEKI that. I said, look, you came here and you got an order for the High Court. Did I know? He said no. So another person has come to Federal Court. Now I'm the one. I've had sleepless night with the Delta governor, with some governors, to make sure we resolve issues. Political issues are not the way some of us think we should do it. Oh, you give order. Some people say, oh, the former chairman of Edo State, I can give him order. If I can give him order, the chairman of the party at the national level, and most of the national working committees, why don't they take orders from me? Because I was responsible. So why don't they take order from me? You must respect human beings. You must know that people have grown to a level that you have to play it calmly and carry everybody. And that is the way politics is supposed to play. Not as a tax collector. When you collect the tax, you think anybody can go to hell. See what's going on now in Ondo State. The same problem is coming up. Tomorrow, they will call Wike. Because I will be able to tell them the simple truth. And nobody will stop me from telling them the truth. So I have no hand, I have no role. The Delta governor knows, the governor, Adamawa, Sokoto, they know what I have done to bring peace. As of last night, as I speak to you, and if PDP is not being careful, if they are not careful the way they are going, the crisis in APC will be something less. Look at what the National Working Committee did. I know who did it. I know them. Look at what they published against me. And I have told my lawyer, write to them to explain this. Look, some of us, we know the members of National Working Committee or people that did this with the publisher of this day. I'm aware. I laugh. So I've told him to let them. I will go to court with them. No problem. It doesn't matter. But you cannot. It doesn't matter because you have a publishing house or whatever to bring somebody's name down because of your interest. You can't do that. I'm not that kind of person. Whether I win, I'll lose. But I must challenge this. So I've told my lawyers to write them. It was done in connivance with some members of the National Working Committee. And with this, I can no longer participate in the reconciliatory process that's going on in PDP. I will not. And they know me, I will not. Let them go and sort out their problems. If that's what they want, it's their business. The National Working Committee that says it's governors now. Now they are suited with governors. In Bayelsa matter, in Bayelsa, did they consult the governors? In Bayelsa, did they consult the governors? So why are they not saying, oh, we want to listen to the governors? You see, when you want to do something very mischievous, when you want to be mischievous, you have one reason or the other. Now you want to put it that it's the governors who are responsible who did it. No, it's not correct. I've passed that stage in life that anybody can use me to play to his own game. No, nobody will do it. So I have withdrawn. I will not participate any longer in their settlement. I will not participate in anything. And I told people, I don't need to reconsider. That's nothing. I will focus on development of River State.
My name is Kofi Bitels, and as you can see from the post tonight, we're getting back to politics to talk about the political stuff because it's heating up as far as 2023 is concerned. A very good evening to you. I'd like to also welcome my guest on the line who's been patiently standing by to talk to us because, you know, a man Sabi waiting there on ground, and we normally would like to get such individuals to be our guests on the program. He's not just a politician, but also a legal practitioner. I'd like to say a very good evening to Barrister Sogbeye Eli, who joins us from his home. Barrister, good evening to you. All right. Thank you very much for joining us. Very interesting times as far as politics in Nigeria and in River State in particular is concerned, wouldn't you say? Hello, Mr. Ella, are you there?
Yeah, I feel interesting times indeed. Yeah, but you know, it's the nature of politics, intrigues, back and forth, maneuvering. But this is what it is. Politics is a human activity that has a lot of dynamism, so it's expected.
Okay. What's your take on what's happened in the last 24 hours? We were told last time we spoke, we discussed the dynamics between the Giadom and
Kofi?
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me, Mr. Eli? Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Last time we spoke, we talked about the tussle for the leadership of the APC, where we had the former governor and also Honorable Victor Giadom, as well as Hilliard Etta. Now we see that some things are changing. Are you surprised how things have turned out as far as the leadership of the APC is concerned?
No, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. To the extent that what has happened is not a departure from what the law has said will happen. If it had happened otherwise, I would have been surprised.
Okay. Before now, we heard that the leadership or the faction, the court-appointed leadership, of the APC in River State, led by Igor Aguma, had suspended Victor Giadom. But we're hearing another thing from the presidency. Based on what has happened in the past few hours, what would you say about the earlier suspension of Victor Giadom by Honorable Igor Aguma?
With respect to my friend Igor Aguma, that was the height of recklessness and irresponsible leadership. The legal pronouncements are brought into power that we respect are not higher in hierarchy than the legal pronouncements are brought into the father of acting national chairman. So again, we're back to the same cherry-picking politics that we have in River State, where people decide what parts of court orders or court judgments obey and what not obey. Victor's seat has been preserved even before they went to the High Court to ambush him because they must send somebody Nicodemously to Abuja to go and be embarrassed by the law of power. That suspension is illegal. It was unnecessary. It was the height of recklessness, and it was bound to come to nullity like it has come now. The president is the highest authority next to the APC constitution in the party. Okay. And there is the national leader of the party. His position today invalidates in its entirety all of the items on the wish list of Giadom, who is on the journey to nowhere. Thankfully, members of the State Executive Committee, statutory members, that is, have seen through his deceitful, his misleading, and even his uncultured approach to leadership that have shown him the exit door. It's something to get a judgment and say, I'm not satisfied with what the National Working Committee had done. It's another thing to stick with the rules of that judgment. Don't forget, the grounds for his suit in the University High Court is to the extent that the National Working Committee, which appointed the barrister Isaac Abod-Ogbogbola Keda Committee, did not consult him or as it were infringe on his rights as a statutory member of the State Executive Committee of the party. So what has he done? He got the judgment and then sat on the rights of other members of the Statutory Committee who are in the majority, at 28. He has 9 behind him. 9 behind him. The first meeting they claimed they had a Zoom meeting on June 14 after the June 9 judgment. He said there were 20 and they were put to tax to name those 20. He never did. These other guys had a meeting and not only identified themselves as 28, they also identified the minority side of Agoma, which is 10, to bring number to 38. Okay. In Rivers State. So there's already been a failure on the first test, which is credibility. So that suspension was bound to come to ruin Abination.
Okay. What about the events of about 5 or 6 days ago? A high court in Port Harcourt granting an order of interim injunction restraining the All Progressives Congress from recognizing or regarding Victor Giadom as acting national chairman of the APC and a member of its national working committee. The suit filed by Dele Moses and Azunda Wari.
Well, Kofi, I think we're back to the same thing. This is the old judicial rigmarole role. It's what lawyers call abuse of court process. You know what? Yeah, when you file suit to the annoyance of the other party, when you keep going by the court to be a distraction, and you keep abusing the process of the system, you consider yourself some kind of nuisance. See, the president has spoken to his media advisor to say he is convinced on that advice. The law is on the side of Victor Giadom. Those who did that thing in Port Harcourt, whether they are Dele Moses, whether they are Azunda Wari, or whatever they call themselves, are mercenaries on the mission to nowhere. You don't ambush the law. Victor has his office preserved by law, by judgment, and it's a shame on them that they can afford to go into judicial gangsterism, to go to court and simply because they can pay the filing fees, get one lawyer to wear his wig and gown, step in, and then there's a judge here who will now grant you your orders. Whether or not those orders do not do justice or not is immaterial. Men of conscience don't go to sabotage processes because they have a liberty to go to court. Now, and all of this plethora of judgments have only put the judiciary to great ridicule, and people are wondering what has happened to our judiciary. It wasn't like this in the past. And I'm bothered as a lawyer. I'm very bothered. I'm concerned too. As time has come when we need to go back to the old era when judges are temperate, judges are not quick to dispense justice. That is called technical justice. Judges are inclined to dispense what they call substantial justice, where justice is not always seen to be done, but is manifestly done. And every party, even the losing party, goes home satisfied that the law was allowed to take its course, and wounds can easily heal. But when you have a situation where judgments come down and then there's still some kind of riot, some kind of disagreement, what that simply means is that judgment did not deliver justice. And I think we should have a clear departure from that era and do the right things. Political power is transient. All of these rufo fights it happened in Rivers APC between 2018 and 2019. Those who did that came home empty-handed as those who did not follow them.
Okay.
And I think there are lessons to learn.
Okay.
The political party system cannot solve these problems in judicial temples. They must come home
Okay.
and have internal talk. That's what the PDP does. You see what happened today in Edo State. There was to be a judgment today in the Federal High Court here in Port Harcourt before Justice Milord, Justice E.O. Bile. About the PDP, elders Edo State intervened, and the matter was withdrawn. The judge struck out the matter. So today, OBASEKI is in the race. That's what political parties do. You don't allow the courts to hold you to ransom. You can never make progress.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. So let's just bring our listeners and those who are watching us up to speed. Of course, we have 3 issues that have been happening at fast pace as far as the politics in Nigeria is concerned. And my guest on the line, Sogbeye Eli, is going to do, or is doing justice to that. The first one, of course, Presidency recognizes Giadom as acting chairman of the All Progressives Congress. Wike pulls out of Edo PDP reconciliation efforts, and PDP clears OBASEKI for Edo GUBER primaries. Those are the major political stories coming in today. My guest Sogbeye Eli is on the line, and he's doing justice to that. But let's go back to one where the Nation newspaper, well, just as Gabriel Wike has had an axe to grind with this day newspaper, which I used to think was one of his favorite newspapers to give interviews to. Governor Fayemi and by extension Victor Giadom also have an axe to grind with the Nation newspaper. Because Sogbeye, this headline came up today in the Nation newspaper. Fayemi's failed mission to the villa with Giadom. Fayemi's failed mission to the villa with Giadom. I'd like to read a few sentences from that so that you can respond to that. It says, Ekiti Governor Kaide Fayemi took... Okay, it says, Ekiti Governor Kaide Fayemi took former Deputy National Secretary of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Victor Giadom, to Aso Rock Villa in a failed attempt to see President Muhammadu Buhari. The visit, the nation learnt, was to win Buhari over to Giadom, who has been laying claim to being the acting national chairman of the party. It was also gathered Fayemi wanted Giadom to see Buhari to get endorsement for the emergency National Executive Council he summoned, but the duo couldn't see Buhari despite spirited attempts. They only met his chief of staff, Prof. Gambari, who insisted Buhari had closed for work. What's your reaction to this belated post, Sogbeye Eli?
Again, I'm amused. I'm amused at the level of debauchery. I'm amused at the level of desperation by some journalists working for certain interests to turn the truth on its head. Recall that in the heat of a fiasco, Governor OBASEKI and Comrade Adam Shomele, our suspended national chairman, they went to the same villa and couldn't see the president. They were directed to see the chief of staff, Professor Ibrahim Gambari. Maybe that's and even before now, the last chief of staff who has passed on to glory,
Abakari.
The president is known to allow his political desk handle most of these issues. So all of those spins that suggest that the president shunned the chairman of the governance forum, His Excellency John Kaide Fayemi, PhD, and Chief Victor Giadom, the acting national chairman, they're laughable. So after that spin, what has happened? The president that was reported to have shunned those two gentlemen, the president today has made it clear that the law is on the side of Victor and Victor is on the side of the law, and he's going to attend the National Executive Committee meeting that has been like it should never happen in the APC, and things have gone down dangerously down. So what does that suggest to you? You know, and I want to use the opportunity to urge the media to please help us. The reason why it is called the fourth estate of the realm is because next to the legislative arm, the executive and the judiciary is the media.
So are you saying that this event never occurred, where the president was the two gentlemen in question were denied access to the president. Are you saying it didn't happen?
It can't happen. You know why it cannot happen?
Tell me why.
On the protocol list in the villa, it's the governor of the state. Moreover, chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum, John
Sorry.
Kaide.
Can you repeat yourself? You said by which list?
I said by the villa protocol list.
Okay.
Who can deny that a governor of the state, moreover, chairman of the Governors Forum, not APC Governors Forum, not PDP, Nigeria Governors Forum, that it does not have access to the villa? Oh, come on. There are things we should not hear. They're laughable.
But I mean, it's not the first time we're hearing important government functionaries have been denied access to the president. Even the vice president himself, there have been, rumors that at some point he wanted to see the president and he couldn't see him.
But some of those spins are out of the world spins, and I don't want to add any value to them. Those people who spin those stories, you ask them, they are unable to establish a basis for that to happen. How would the president not want to see the vice president? Why? And who in the presidency has that kind of power to stop the VP from seeing his principal? People have spun stories to the extent that you would think there's war in the villa between the president and the vice. In fact, we've read stories about the vice president being out of circulation because he's down with coronavirus. All right? And all that. So, meanwhile, it never happened.
Okay.
It never happened. So, we are used to this spin as far as the Buhari presidency is concerned. There are people who are waiting for the day to hear Buhari has dropped dead or Buhari is out of the villa for them to live life again. For now, they're like in the ICU. So, they keep spinning stories, particularly when the political headwinds are against their interest. They just join anything and anything.
So are you saying that this particular incident never took place? That you're double sure that Fayemi didn't take Giadom to the villa?
No, I said it couldn't have happened that they were bounced. The headline you read and the bit of the story you read does suggest that they were bounced. To use the street words, they were not bounced. They can't be bounced. The president may not have seen them, I do not know, but it is not the first time it's happened. In the height of the crisis before Governor OBASEKI left for PDP, he was in the villa. Just like Adam Shomole was in the villa, and both of them were directed to see the president's chief of staff, which is the person of Professor Ibrahim Gambari. So if that happened today, again, it's no news. Why would anybody want to make a mountain out of a molehill?
All right, so you accusing the media, some media outfits, and this is the Nation newspaper, so I'm sure you're referring to them, of being biased in trying to represent. I mean, I'm not quoting you there, but some political interests. Which political interests do you think that these media outfits are working for?
The Nation is as guilty as TVC News, and both of them are owned by His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And everyone that has ears to the ground knows that rather than push the interest of the vice president, Professor Yemi Shibanjo, senior advocate of Nigeria, grand commander of the Order of Nigeria, respected professor of law, respected gentleman, a man of the gospel of Christ, to run for president in 2023. Bodilon is busy pushing Ebola Ahmed Tinubu interest. One would have thought that after 8 years of studying President Muhammadu Buhari, the rightful heir to the throne, if power must go to the southwest again, should have been Professor Yemi Shibanjo. But alas is the story. The man has been quieting, and all here is a Jagaban that wants to run, and he must run, and everything that stands in the way must be crushed, including picking and choosing what judgments of court to obey and which not obey. So we know where the spins are coming from, and we know what interests are projecting. But again, it's not peculiar to Nigerian media alone. Even in the Western world, people accuse Fox News, CNN, and others of running spins that have some kind of political undertones.
Okay.
So the media has a tendency to want to flow and project a particular political interest. But Nevertheless, what I'm saying is we're asking people to be careful here because our institutions here are not yet strong enough or mature enough to contain certain shocks that could ensue from some kind of polyglot of rivals. You can see that even right now, our judiciary delivers judgments and people sit on appeal. People sit on judgments and discuss them in beer parlors everywhere. And suddenly, excuse me, everybody thinks that this judgment was not right or was not right, or this one was right, or the judge has overreached himself.
Okay.
When in the normal circumstances, what will happen is people look at the judgment based on the law and the facts to determine whether or not there is a miscarriage of justice. All right?
Okay.
So if the judicial institution too is challenged, then the media has to really be careful what to report so it don't cause a conflagration.
Okay. Okay. So, Eli, for those who may not know, like you just mentioned, what really is going on behind the scenes, I would like you, as somebody who knows and you are in the system, to break it down for us. What's going on? What's going on?
What's going on is simply natural, except that some people are on the hyper mode. President Muhammad Buhari will not be eligible for office again in 2023. Okay? Mm-hmm. So the rest of the guys who are eligible and are willing to go and are ready to go are on the unmarked mode. And so the first thing they're going to do is to grab the soul of the party. That's why a judge suspends or affirms the suspension of the national chairman from his word. And then, whereas the national chairman himself steps aside in obedience to that order, those who belong to his tendency, those are he there to jump on the fray and disobey the order by appointing somebody the order did not name. Or they will tell you, they want to analyze to you and tell you this order has a flux with time because an interim order after 7 days by the rules of court, or that the order was not needed, so after 14 days it has died a natural death. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, people are dishonest enough not to remember that we're past that stage of the High Court in the Federal Capital Territory. Where we are right now is a judgment of the appeal court, a full court of appeal, a unanimous judgment. And the only way to challenge that judgment is to go upstairs to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
Not to dwell in unnecessary rigmarole by subjecting same to political permutations. So that's what's afoot. People are not thinking that a Victor Giadom holding forth, no matter how short the time, will serve the interest. I don't think so. I don't think so. It's too early. We should be supporting play politics when the time is due. But I think the unnecessary tensions are because people are afraid that, the former British Prime Minister, Harold Wilson would say,
okay, in
politics, a day is like eternity. So some people think that if Victor stays at the center of the mix for a day, their permutations for 2023 may be altered.
So, okay.
I think that the fear is unfounded.
Is this basically about Tinubu's ambition to be the flag bearer of the APC in 2023?
I can't say anything else because all of those NWC members who are rooting anti-Victor slogans appear to have bought into that. I know in our country, money is a factor. Just like money is a factor in every other client. But more seriously for Nigeria, you cannot be a political force without good money. And I think that money at exchange hands, promises have been made, and people are almost going over their heads. Otherwise, no, you look at it from the mere ABC of the matter. A judgment of the court came. The national chairman on whose head the axe fell stepped out. The judgment made a pronouncement and said, so person who is the next national officer in the hierarchy should step in. And then people want to say no. So are you going to obey an order of court in some kind of passive obedience? You don't do that. An order of court must obeyed in extenso. So if Otam Simile moves out of office, it follows therefore that the next man the court pronounced will step in. If you don't like the order, you proceed to get the higher court to quash it. But in the last 2-3 weeks, they've held us. Now look at that, what has happened. At those states, if next tomorrow does not resolve the issue, at those states could be on a tailspin. And God forbid what happened in River State what happened in Zamfara might happen. So who had lost? Who had won? The party had lost.
Okay, so Tinubu on one side, Fayemi was alleged to have taken a Giadom to the villa, even though he has put out a statement which you'll be reading very soon. So if Tinubu is on one side, Oshomole is definitely on that side. We have the likes of Fayemi. Who are the others on the other side who are trying to, tell Tinubu you can't just impose yourself on the party like that?
Well, Tinubu, Kofi, this is a very brilliant question.
Okay.
I'm not going to sit down here and hazard guesses. I just guess that those who are disturbed by Victor's presence,
okay,
or Fayemi's role as party leader by virtue of being a governor of the state and being chairman of the governors forum, those who are disturbed. I'm not sure anybody else who does have any such founded ambition is disturbed. But I'm not seeing the other people per se. I'm seeing the party's constitution on one side versus the Tinubu tendency.
Okay.
On the other side.
Okay. Thank you very much. We have
I know the pattern. Sorry, let me just take it back a bit.
Yes.
The pattern didn't begin today. The pattern began way back in 2015.
Oh, really?
No, shortly after we defeated the PDP in 2015, the CPC and the ACN tendencies in the coalition, the amalgamation in the coalition brought about the APC, took virtually everything. I know it took some grit and guts for Bukola Saraki to emerge as Senate president.
Yes.
It was not done to him.
Okay.
He has roughened it and took it off. And from the point he took it until he left, it was war. And Tinubu and Co made sure that the man had to leave the party and go back to the PDP. The same thing for Tambuwal. The same thing for most of the guys who left, including the gentleman Yakubu Dogara in Bauchi State.
But I mean,
you don't take everything that way.
But the suspicion was that everything was from the presidency. I mean, initially, Buhari versus Tambuwal, Buhari versus Saraki.
No, normally, political hawks are everywhere. They will do the thing and then put it on the head. Of course, one American president said the buck stops on the president's back, isn't it? So when things like that happen, they will call the president's team, even when the president is not involved. The president that I know is a political neutral, as it were.
Okay.
If he goes about throwing his weight around, people like Tinubu would have been put on the back seat long time ago. For instance, an average Nigerian politician will not sit down as president and hear somebody as the party as a national leader. National leader, how? But for Buhari, those things are not probably important. Mama.
But I mean, this whole national leader talk is not new. I mean, I was even shocked to hear Ahmed Lawan say something about it. This national leader talk thing is not even during the campaign. The campaigning. I'm sure, and those who are shouting about the national leader thing now were also singing national leader.
But I'm sure you also, if you go through your records, you also find where Buhari publicly reprimanded Bukola I told you we are not the national leader. Stop calling us a national leader. But when the press has given you an appellation and they dwell on it, at some point it becomes like a settled issue.
Okay.
So people are like, okay, no need. If that's what will make the man happy, okay, let's align with that. But the man is taking that beyond the normal. As we speak, there is no clear-cut constitution for him. There's no clear constitution for him, role for him, the party's constitution. For instance, he's not a member of NEC, all right? And so he may not be in tomorrow's meeting. But nevertheless, the man had thrown his weight around. So much so that up to the National Assembly, you have a vice president, you go to the National Assembly, you must have Senate president, you must have Speaker of House of Reps, everything must be at your beck and call. A governor like Akin Wambode was performing to the delight of everybody. Suddenly he had ex the gods of Bodilon, and he was thrown out. The same way they threw out the former national chairman of APC, John Odigeyego. In a democracy, I do not think that those things make for healthy relationships within parties.
Okay. Interesting. If you're just joining us, it's Late Night Talk. My guest tonight is none other than Barrister Sogbeye Eli, who is a member of the All Progressives Congress, a one-time office holder, national or youth leader of the party in Rivers State. And he's still very active in politics, and he's given us an insider's opinion or information as far as that party is concerned. I want to read some of your messages now, but the issues on the table are very clear. Number one, Presidency recognizes Giadom as acting chairman of the APC. Wike pulls out of Edo PDP reconciliation, and PDP clears OBASEKI for Edo GUBER primaries. Your comments are welcome, but please share this post so that others can also be a part of the conversation we're having. I want to thank you very much. If you want to call in, maybe at some point in time we would take calls, but for now, we have our guest, Barrister Eli, on the line, so we can't take calls. But when we're ready to take calls, we'll throw the lines open so that you can call as well. Miss Ella, are you there? Okay. I've just checked Twitter right now, and the trends on Twitter are quite interesting. I can see Tinubu is trending, Fahimi is trending, and Giadom is trending. So I'm just going to read some things from there for those who are watching so that they can follow. Call, please write down the number 080-620-99556. 080-620-99556 so that you can be part of our conversation. Okay. Here's a message coming in from Israel Madu. Israel Madu says APC should go for peace. Thank you, Israel. Thank God says nice one. Now, Governor Ariewove, is that your real name? Good evening to you. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your message as well. Bless John, thank you very much. Kenneth Dine is watching. Biafra Isiokpo, is this Biafra Isiokpo branch? Thank you. He says, all we hear is presidency and not president. The Lugadian cage is finished and shall soon become extinct. Barrister Eli, what do you say to that?
Optimism. It's entitled to his opinion. You know, some people are like that. If you read in between the lines and read his previous tweets, it's possible you know where it belongs to. You know, people like to live in denial when the odds are not in their favor, etc.
Mm-hmm.
The president is the symbol of the presidency. If a statement is issued by an official of the presidency and 2, 3, 4 hours after it has not been pulled down, that tells you that the president directed it to be said.
No, but he's saying that, I think the point he's trying to make is that we keep hearing presidency. You know, whilst we hear in one breath that the president refused to see or declined seeing these individuals, now we are hearing it. We've seen a tweet saying the presidency. So he's talking about, if we keep hearing presidency, then what's going on? Like someone asks, who is the presidency?
Yeah. Okay, the presidency and the president are not, they are, as it were, mutually not exclusive terms, as it were. You can use them interchangeably. Particularly, the president has decided the office of the chief executive of the federation, as in this case, President Muhammadu Buhari. The presidency has to do with all the powers of the offices behind him and all of those human personnel that work around him. You know, the expression of the presidential powers in offices is what is seen as aggregate, as in aggregate as it were, as the presidency. Okay, so I don't think there should be any controversy about this here.
Okay, all right. Let's move on from that to another message here. Okay, this one says, "Oh my, where is this? Okay, please hold on." Okay, I'm just trying to clear this messages. Sorry about that. Okay, thank you very much for your message, Sogbeye Okatex. Chizinio Manuel says, it's Mr. President, the same thing as the presidency. And where else do you keep hearing this if not in Nigeria? Shameless leaders. Okay. So Eli, this issue is still coming up. Um, why wouldn't the president put out his own tweet to say this? Why does Garba Shehu have to come out and say it for him? You're laughing.
Yeah, I have to laugh. You know why? Trump has, if you like, how many presidents are sitting here on Twitter, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Does that stop other staffers of the presidency, like the White House press secretary, from tweeting? But it may not be as frenzyful as Trump on Twitter. So nothing stops Garba Shehu and others from tweeting on his behalf. Like I said earlier, if a statement is issued on behalf of the president, or is purported to be issued on his behalf, 3, 4, 5 hours have passed. If there's no contradiction whatsoever of that statement, that it stands. That means the president is behind it. We have seen where presidential handlers have goofed and they've been disowned as well by the principal. In this case, that not happened, so I do not think the controversy should arise.
Okay. The Icon Studio says that's the right step in the right direction by President Buhari. Giadom is the man. Letam Inzide says peace is the best path for the APC now. Let everyone respect the opinion of the president. No matter what side of the divide you belong, it's a sacrifice worth making. Somina Green says, good one, All Progressives Congress. Acho Modo is here, refusing to be left out today. He says, how Igwaguma accepted the position of an undertaker is still baffling me. I'm sure by now Guma will be regretting his actions. Nothing can be more ridiculous than a man who was on a trajectory of political growth but goes to commit harakiri and self-immolation. It is a pity that the Wike bombs also submitted himself to this miscalculation, lack of strategy. It's a pointer to the fact that Magnus Abe's plan could not manifest. I don't know why people keep linking Magnus Abe to all of this. Me, I don't know. So, is it right, Sogbeye, to link Magnus Abe to all of this? I want to speak as a novice, as somebody who does not know anything. So you tell me.
Unfortunately, you know so much.
You say?
Yeah, unfortunately, you know so much, but it's a right to exercise neutrality as the man on the seat, as the judge of the mind. So this icon. All right? But you know, those who link this to Magnus Abe, particularly Wike bombs, are not doing so out of mischief. There are precedents, historical facts, and even present facts supporting that thinking.
Okay. Recall
that Wike bombs was appointed Attorney General at the time Magnus had left Amichi's cabinet to become a senator of the Federal Republic. I'm talking about 2011 to 2015. But somehow, by a stroke of fate, when Amici and Abe disengaged, as it were, politically speaking, and no more on the same camp, bombs were found on that side. And not just being found, like Amici's chief of staff, Amici's last chief of staff, Tony Okocha, he took visible roles. In fact, he was appointed the last time we checked as DG, as Director General of Freedom House, which is Abe's botched 2015-2019 governorship bid platform. You know? So, if you play that role at that level, and if you recall also that at the time Ikochukwu Aguma was in the running to grabbing this judgment from the judiciary, are you with me?
Yes, we can hear you.
If you recall that he was not on Abe's side, he was on Amichi's side before he broke ranks. But if you recall how Wike bombs has to be the one that will replace Victor Giadom in Abuja, and the way he was packaged there nicodemously and appeared there the next day with a top English out of of no means proportion.
You keep hitting on that. I saw your post on Facebook where you accused your later colleague of no, come on,
Sogbeye. That hat has identified the university as Osman Danfodio hat.
You call it what? Osman Danfodio hat.
It has identified the university as Osman Danfodio hat, and it comes to a lot of shaking of heads.
you accuse your later colleague or senior colleague Wogubums of going by night bus. I don't know the source of your information, by the way.
No, but are you aware that the part of the COVID protocols flights are not allowed except those on special service? You remember one time Camerton helicopter flew into Port Harcourt and the governor caused 2 pilots to be arrested. Have you forgotten?
So you
they came on essential services, they were arrested and they put on trial. So what the essential service was Wogubums up to in Abuja. How did he go to Abuja? The airport is closed.
So you think he went by night bus?
Of course, and he arrived very early in the morning. By 9 a.m. they were finding him in. So how could he have arrived? Except he flew through Benin airport. In Benin, you have airports in bedrooms. Except he went to that route. You know? But seriously speaking, Kofi, some of us are not so happy, not because we have any issue, because of our political differences with the gentleman in question. We're not happy because he's privileged. And I can't remember so many Rivers young men who became appointed Attorney General before they turned 45 in Rivers history. So Wogubums is rather lucky. And you know, I read where he wrote that he was nominated to serve as Attorney General by no less a person than former Chief Judge of Rivers State, my Lord, the Honorable Justice Iche Indo. Okay? Mm-hmm. So, at about time, he was chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association in Port Harcourt. At the time, we had very few branches outside Port Harcourt, if any. Today, we have about 4 or 5 branches outside Port Harcourt. Abori, Aboki, Abdegema, and Awoda and all that. Then he used to be just Port Harcourt, and he held sway as chairman of the bar. Now, for a man that sat in the office of Attorney General, which is the chief law officer of the state, as defined by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to willingly subject himself to what has happened, you know that the court had given orders preserving the office of the Deputy National Secretary, and yet you offered yourself, made yourself available to be sworn in by a Hill editor that had no legal foundation to stand upon, who himself appointed himself acting national secretary as another chairman because Ajimobi was not around. Okay? Mm-hmm. One would have thought that he would have applied some discernment and wouldn't allow himself get into that lane, that controversial lane. But he did. And today, look at this. But we're happy that the president is intervening, and the president's intervention might calm frayed nerves, resolve the issues, and then save others more embarrassments. Otherwise, it's a terrible thing.
Okay, so I mean, some time ago when we had this conversation, you agreed with others who were saying that the president holds the ace as far as solving the issues are concerned, and he needs to wade in. And are you satisfied so far that the president has done what is necessary to ensure the party moves forward, or you think there's more yet to be done that the president hasn't done, and that if not done, things will not move forward?
Yeah, I agree. The president has to. I mentioned that before, now I'm still maintaining it now. As the father of the house, father of the family, he has to speak. And let us wait and see the outcome of tomorrow's next meeting.
Okay.
If this next meeting turns out well, then the APC will be back to one house. If it doesn't, then it could be the beginning of greater rumblings in the house. You know, our opponents, the PDP, had this kind of misfortune too at some point. Okay? Mm-hmm. When matters got ahead, it got to a point where 5 governors had to work as a party at the National Convention in 2011, and the center could no longer hold. So I hope and I pray that the president tomorrow, as he weighs in, that the next meeting will turn out well, and that broken hearts will be mended, and that bruised faces will be restored with some balm, and there will be forgive and forget approach, and we'll come back to normalcy. I just hope so.
Okay. All right. Let's read the last few messages before we say goodbye to you, Sogbeye Eli. On Facebook, let's see. We're streaming live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Instagram live as well. Oh, wow. Some very interesting messages here. I think the last one we read was our church message, so let's go to the next one. Uchin Wanko says, look at them speaking side covenanter. I don't understand this message, my brother. Okay. Chi Mangpa says, the presidency recognizes Giadom. We expected the president to make such clarifications earlier. It almost cost the APC a lot. We hope other factions can come in synergy to move the party forward. Okay. Festus Kinkley says the fact is that the presidency has spoken. Buhari will attend the NEC meeting tomorrow, and everyone doubting it should wait till after the NEC meeting tomorrow. Victor Giadom is a recognized personality. I think that's a very, very intelligent way of solving this matter. Shey president saying go attend the meeting tomorrow. All of them way they doubt saying him talk this one way. Gabra Shey will tweet make it wait now. So I think that's fair. Joshua Chinedu says it is only Nigeria that we hear presidency or FGN. Okay, you're going back to that matter. Thank you very much. Imahari says it is a shame. After much issues that the presidency is supposed to have addressed, which they did not, it is at this time they want to address, just because the presidency has a vested interest, hence they are talking. Now we understand the presidency and their games. Mr. Eli, what do you say to such a view, an interesting view by Imahari, that the presidency has a vested interest and now they are talking? They didn't talk since. What do you say to that? Has the president taken sides now?
Well, it's unfortunate that anybody could think so, except that one is of the view that the president should remain mute and allow the house come down in one fell swoop. He has shown maturity by allowing people to express their agitations, and when it's time for him to step in, he has stepped in. Taking that he took side because he stood by the law, I think it's a bit myopic with respect. The law is what kept Peter Giadom there. The president always stood by side of the law, and that's what's expected to happen. But those who find that strange may have their reasons, but I do not think it holds water.
Okay. John Peter says, how does the president's support to Giadom demean the court pronouncements? Wouldn't this trigger more legal battles? What's your response to
that? People are entitled to their fears, but it's neither here nor there. In law, they say where two equities are equal, the first in time prevails. The first thing about this legal tussle is that the court has preserved the office of Giadom as acting national chairman. That has also gone ahead onto the appeal court, which again a higher level of court, and that's affirmed. Some people went behind to they can yank off the suspension of Adam Shomole from his word, and it didn't work. The real suspenders bounced out and said, no, we have not lifted it. So all sorts of strategies were applied to see how they can, but the law is the law. The only way out, like I've always said, is to go and appeal at the Supreme Court to vacate that order. Until that is done, unfortunately, you're stuck with it. The president has always stood by the law. He hasn't offended anybody. The president I know, if any officer of the party has a court judgment on his side, the president has done the same thing. So I don't think that the president took side.
Okay. Let's see. I think that's the last message we have so far. Sogbeye Eli, where does all of this, the president coming out to say this thing through his spokesperson, where does it leave, number one, Igor Aguma, number two, Wogu Bombs, and then, yes, by extension, the other governor who was laying claim to be Ajimobi? Where does it leave all of them?
Well, If you ask me, in law, uh, we don't put anything on nothing and expect it to stand. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Igaguma had the good fortune of having, let me begin from him inside. He had the good fortune of having the judgment of the High Court, a court of competent jurisdiction, bring him to office. But he blew his goodwill by showing poor leadership. In his opening statement, he said he was here to reconcile the party, forge unity, and build reconciliation, and let's gather momentum and move again. But his very first steps are false steps. They're faltering steps. And they are more divisive than ever before. So he has been consumed by his own recklessness. The statutory members of the same committee are heads by the pronouncement of the courts. In their huge numbers are thrown him out. So everything he had done or proposed to be doing is null and void. The nullity is a nullity. So including the man he sent to Abuja by 9 boss. That one will return home with his tail tucked between his hind legs. We need development. Tomorrow's neck is bound to unravel things. Okay? And by the time the neck is over, all of us will know where we stand. But the people will learn lessons on how not to resort to self-help. Then face the law.
You are taking. I can imagine what will happen. Afterwards, you head on Facebook and take a swipe at the others. It's okay.
We'll be kind. We'll be kind to them. We'll be kind to our brothers.
Okay.
I'm sure my junior friend Kennedy Friday is listening, and we'll be very kind to him and others.
Okay. All right. You promise?
I do.
Okay.
You don't beat a child and stop him from crying. I think although I cried enough, and it's time for us to tell him, okay, it's okay, stop crying, and let's get going.
Okay. Sogbeye, I want to thank you very much. I think we have been able to exhaust the messages and the questions we have on Facebook. I would have asked you about the happenings in the polity, the other ones, but I know you are not a member of the PDP. Maybe you're not observing what has been going on there.
Well, our friends there, we cannot find. They also look at our friends. We also look at their own affairs.
Okay, so let me pose a quick one to you. Governor Wike today said that he is washing his hands off. I know you remember when Telekuru washed his hands off the government of Rivers. Was it APC or PDP at the time when took water and did the Judas Iscariot thing? Governor
you mean Engineer Telekuru?
Yes, remember that time? He was on TV.
Yes,
he washed his hands.
APC. It was in APC, and then he decided to run away.
He washed his hands by Judas Iscariot. You remember back
like Pontius Pilate.
Pontius Pilate. Sorry.
Yes,
Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, so Governor Wike has also washed his hands off APC reconciliation in Edo State.
No, PDP.
PDP reconciliation in Edo State. The governor, he doesn't want to be part of, all the accusations and counter accusations, and he just wants to maintain his self-respect, and he said he was brought up to hate injustice. What's your take on what's happening there? Because your former party man, OBASEKI, is involved in all that's going on.
Well, I've learned to take Wike's words with a pinch of salt. Most times, the man doesn't mean what he says. In fact, most of the times, he says what he doesn't mean.
Let's go easy.
It's inclined to.
See why I didn't want to ask you.
And I'm coming. It's inclined to staying on the front foot when it comes to politics all the time. The moment is not in charge, it's not comfortable, and we know what all this is. All agenda setting. So the party, those days when the party had a lot of referral with Senator Limo the Sheriff.
Yes.
I haven't taken the front seat and I've boxed and I've foxed Alimo the Sheriff. From that point onwards, up to the point of installing Prince Chief Secondary of National Chairman, Wike has the keys to the PDP. And he thinks that, remember when he got to the choice of venue of convention, national convention for the presidential ticket,
Yes.
You know, it has muzzled everybody, the same threats, until the convention came to Port Harcourt, and police calculation was in Port Harcourt, which is his backyard. He would get everybody out of the way and install his man, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, on the ticket. In fact, he lured Tambuwal out of the APC, part of the PDP on that promise. Unfortunately, Atiku arrived there and became the bigger boy and took over everything. So I see the same trend in the South here. If you cannot have absolute command of the national political movement sometimes, you don't want to be left behind in the South. But I tell you what, I think for as long as it comes to supporting the OBASEKI, even though I'm in the APC, I don't have any problem with that, because any justice done to one man anywhere, and then injustice done to all humanity.
Okay.
I think that with respect to whoever had any adverse opinion about Godwin Obaseki's governorship, I think that denying him the right to run for a governorship ticket the second time that is allowed by the Constitution was the height of injustice.
Okay.
It will make more sense that you treat him like Ambode, he goes to the primaries and he fails, than ambush him completely on the grounds of the same qualifications with which the same Oshomole approved him to run in 2016. The same qualifications that made him eligible rather in 2016 suddenly became inadequate and made him ineligible in 2020. Wonder shall never end. So for me,
my
greatest joy would be to see Edo people rallying around in their numbers, whether they're APC or PDP, to make sure that injustice that was done to that man is paid back.
Okay, so
putting him back office.
So you're happy that he's been cleared?
I'm very happy. Yeah, I'm very happy because it has been unheard of. That ordinarily, you know, they say in law, a man intends the natural consequences of his actions. If the PDP, if the APC apparatus who think that they own everything and they know everything have not hounded Obaseki out of our party, he will not be running on the ticket of the PDP today. He would have been here. He was a governor of Edo State elected on the APC platform.
Okay.
I know this has a way of balancing the act. When they handed Amechi out of the PDP into APC, you know what happened finally? The PDP lost. So I know that sometimes fires are fought twice. I see nature paying back injustices. The way that man was handed out, I even if some people do not like him, I think out of sympathy they were going to vote for him. So we have a top order retaining that seat in Edo State. We have a very tall order.
Okay. I do hope that your words do not come back to haunt you. I do hope that
no, they will not. I expect my opinion
at some point in time, you know, in the future, when the tables turn, you would not become anti Obaseki.
No, I stand to be corrected. My views are entirely my personal views.
Okay.
I swore on oath when I became called to a Nigerian bar to defend the law and justice. I'm an officer in the Temple of Justice. And whenever I see injustice done to any man, I have a natural revolt in my spirit. So this is not about talking from a partisan point of view. This is talking about a Nigerian citizen who saw a Nigerian denied his rights under the law, and it's appalling.
Wow. I didn't know you had such Robin Hood tendencies.
I have. Those who know me will tell you, yes, that's why I am.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. You've given us expert analysis, Sogbeye Eli. I want to thank you very much for your time. And you are the interviewer's delight. We'll do some more talking as time goes on. But interesting times in Nigeria's polity. We wait to see what happens tomorrow. We'll be monitoring it. And I'm sure that you and your colleagues may be clinking glasses at some point in time. You know, but I hope you'll be magnanimous in victory if indeed you have your way at the end of the day.
No, even now, we're not saying that we have won anybody. It's one family. It's the Lord that has won, that's all.
Okay.
It's the Lord that's won, and there's no victor, there's no vanquish. Even though we have a victor, Giadom, at the end of the action.
So, Eli, thank you very much for your time. I totally appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, bro. Thanks for having me.
Have a nice night. Okay, it's still late night talk, and my name is Kofi Tells. If you want to call before we go, we can take, I think we'll take 2 calls or 3 if you'd like to call in before we say our goodbyes. But let me read some messages here on Facebook. We're streaming live on Instagram. I think the Instagram live stream has stopped because it stops after 1 hour. Yeah, Instagram just allows you to stream for 1 hour. But we'll try and make it better as time goes on. We know that those who are watching on Instagram would not see our faces well because the thing is just showing the middle. But we'll look for a way around it. We always find a way. No be so. We'll find a way. Okay, let's see. But please support what I'm doing. You can share this post. Please share the post. If you're watching on Facebook, share it. If you're watching on Twitter, let's see who we have on Twitter. Are we still on? Yes, we're still on Twitter. Please retweet the post if you're on Twitter and you're watching right now. Please retweet it. If you're watching on YouTube, please, you can share the post, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification button. If you're watching on Facebook, please follow me or like my page rather. There's a like button apart from follow. You need to also like my page, and then there's a notification button. If you press it each time I go live, you have a notification on your phone that Kofi Betels is live on air. Okay, I want to thank all of you for your time. Let's read the remaining of the messages, and then we go. But of course, today, as I said, Presidency recognizes Giadom as acting chairman. Wike pulls out of Edo. PDP reconciliation. PDP clears OBASEKI for Edo GUBER primaries. Your thoughts on that? Welcome. And let's see. We have. Have I read this one? Okay, yes. Edwin. Oh, like one of my friends like to say, Edwin. Edwin Eze Osiago says it's better late than never. I'm glad that the fix to the APC at the national level will most definitely rub on APC in River State. I hope it all turns out good. Thank you very much for your time. Achomo says, let Woke Bombs go and sit at the National Secretariat. A man desperately used night bus just to become what the law couldn't give him. President Buhari is on the side of the law. He's law-abiding. Okay, how do people know Woke Bombs used night bus? Were you there? Does he not have a car? But I understand where you're coming from. Okay, Danaleke says they don't have an ideology, it's just platforms. Interesting. Edwin Azeo Siago says it was Pontius Pilate thing. Yes, indeed. I remember it took what time. So that's what the governor did today as well. Says Edo State, me and Edo State. I wash my hand. I wash my hand of it. Thank you, Edwin. Obina Justice Sedic, thank you for your time. We're not on the side of any political party. We just look at what is happening in the polity and we discuss it. Tinubu has been trending today. I also want to look at it again, see if it's still trending. Where in there? Okay. Our Lord help me. Yes, Tinubu is still trending. I can see some of the tweets there. Some are just taking a dig at Tinubu. This one says, someone on Twitter, Oceanini says, Oshimole is gone. The Edo APC primary held by Oshimole's NWC faction is legal. Yamu needs to move to another party ASAP. OBASEKI will win the election. The cabal has moved against Tinubu. Clarify me. So possibly, and of course, Giadom also called on INEC not to recognize the primaries held hastily in Edo State by a faction of the APC. And if the party has its way and they go ahead to organize a new, what do they call it again? A new primary, then of course we might see someone else coming up as the party's running mate, a flag bearer in the Edo governorship election, who may not be as popular as Ize Yamo or OBASEKI, therefore may not win. Of course, OBASEKI has the power of incumbency as the current and serving governor of Edo State, and it's expected that he will be returned with a landslide. Excuse me, except of course somebody equally popular, equally strong with a solid, political base is there, to tackle OBASEKI. And if it's not Ize Yamo, because a lot of the people on the other side of the APC, Giadom side, feel that OBASEKI was not treated fairly, and that's why, from what you can see, Sogbeye Eli saying he, even personally as an APC stalwart, feels that, or supporter feels that OBASEKI should win because he's been treated unjustly by Oshomole. But I think that what the APC members who are against Oshomole are doing will come back to haunt them because, of course, they've lost one more party in the South, and he's in the PDP. Then you never can tell what he can do against them. But if you want, your enemy to lose, but in the long run you are also losing out, it might affect you at the end of the day. It's a bit too little too late for the APC in Edo State, because what are they going to do? Is if Izeyamo is not the flag bearer of the party in Edo State, can they get somebody as popular as him? Even if Izeyamo is not the current governor of Edo State, you can be sure that Oshomole will marshal his resources to fight that election for Izeyamo against OBASEKI. Now with Izeyamo possibly out of the picture, will Oshomole want to help him out? Whoever comes out, will he want to help them out? With all the softness of the APC towards and the soft heart they have towards OBASEKI, will they want to prosecute that election like they did in River State and in other states? Time will tell. So it's quite interesting times in the polity of Nigeria, River State as well. Meanwhile, Giadom has reacted to President Buhari endorsing him as acting national chairman. Victor Giadom reacted to his endorsement. He says, of course, that tweet by Garba, which he played or put up on this screen for you. Let's just show that again. So Victor Giadom was reacting to this particular tweet or statement by the presidency, because Twitter is not an official government communication platform. So Garba Shehu, President Buhari's spokesman, had earlier announced that the president had recognized Giadom as acting head of the ruling party, relying on legal advice. He also said President Buhari will attend the National Executive Committee meeting of the party, scheduled for Thursday, June 25. And of course, reacting in a tweet, the excited Giadom said, "To God be the glory." To God be the glory is what he put up on Twitter. That's all he said. Okay, so there you have it. Time will tell. In the meantime, let's come back to River State and back to that particular speech by His Excellency Governor Nyesom Wike on the issues surrounding the Edo State PDP and the fact that he's pulling out, and it will come back and say goodbye. Stay with us.
I have pulled out. I've called the governor of Delta. I've spoken with the governor of Edo State. I said, my brother, I'm no longer interested. I will not be involved again in the Edo settlement. And I've told the president, I'm not no longer interested in it. Whatever people want to do, go and do. It's your business. I'm no longer interested. Now, the issue of Edo, like I've told PDP, we must handle the matter carefully. I don't believe in all these the Abuja politicians. I don't believe in people who will say one thing here, they are doing a different thing here. I don't believe in people who want something from you. When they get it from you, they say different. I don't believe in that. And nobody can convince me and tell me. All I told PDP, the National Working Committee, look, be careful. Therefore, handle it carefully. Carry everybody along. Let the state, let the aspirant be involved. I'm from the south side, and I want to challenge PDP. State is the only state we never wavered. It's the only state that the present government, Buhari, did not have 25%. That is why we are suffering what we are suffering today. All other states, they gave him 35, 40%. So we are suffering it. So I can talk. And nobody in PDP can intimidate River State. Nobody can intimidate River State. Now, the matter in court you are talking about, what is the matter in court? I was the one who called Governor Kowa. I was the one who called Governor of Edo State. See what I'm experiencing. See. They should ask the governor of Edo State. I called him. I said, check. See what I had. He called me back. I said, they said there's nothing like that. I said, no, I don't agree with that. Call back. Find out from your contact. There's something going on. Federal High Court is not it's not River State High Court. Even if it's River State High Court, like people will say, he have no control over them. They are judges. Then I said, because they came to River State and got a Federal High Court River State and got an order, therefore I'm aware. But they also forgot that the governor of Edo State, OBASEKI, they came to here, Federal High Court here. When they were fighting with the Chimuli about the House of Assembly matter, they got an order. Are you saying that I was the one who was responsible? Oh, but I told OBASEKI that. I said, look, you came here and you got an order for the High Court. Did I know? He said no. So another person has come to Federal Court. Now I'm the one. I have had sleepless night with the Delta governor, with some governors, to make sure we resolve issues. Political issues are not the way some of us think we should do it. Oh, you give order. Some people say, oh, the former chairman of Edo State, I can give him order. If I can give him order, the chairman of the party at the national level, and most of the national working committees, why don't they take orders from me? Because I was responsible. So why don't they take order from me? You must respect human beings. You must know that people have grown to a level that you have to play it calmly and carry everybody. And that is the way politics is supposed to play. Not as a tax collector. When you collect the tax, you think anybody can go to hell. See what's going on now in Ondo State. The same problem is coming up. Tomorrow, they will call Wike. Because I will be able to tell them the simple truth. And nobody will stop me from telling them the truth. So I have no hand, I have no role. The Delta governor knows, the governor, Adamawa, Sokoto, they know what I have done to bring peace. As of last night, as I speak to you. And if PDP is not being careful, if they're not careful the way they're going, the crisis in APC will be something less. Look at what the National Working Committee did. I know who did it. I know them. Look at what they published against me. And I have told my lawyer, write to them to explain this. Look, some of us, we know the members of National Working Committee or people that did this with the publisher of this day. I'm aware. I laugh. So I've told him to let them. I will go to court with them. No problem. It doesn't matter. But you cannot. It doesn't matter because you have a publishing house or whatever to bring somebody's name down because of your interest. You can't do that. I'm not that kind of person. Whether I win, I lose. But I must challenge this. So I've told my lawyers to write them. It was done in connivance with some members of the National Working Committee. And with this, I can no longer participate in the reconciliatory process that's going on in PDP. I will not. And they know me, I will not. Let them go and sort out their problems. If that's what they want, it's their business. The National Working Committee that says it's governors now. Now they are students with governors. In Bayelsa matter, in Bayelsa, did they consult the governors? In Bayelsa, did they consult governors? So why are they not saying, oh, we want to listen to the governors? You see, when you want to do something very mischievous, when you want to be mischievous, you have one reason or the other. Now you want to put it that it's the governors who are responsible who did it. No, it's not correct. I've passed that stage. in life that anybody can use me to play to his own game. No, nobody will do it. So I have withdrawn. I will not participate any longer in their settlement. I will not participate in anything. And I told people, I don't need to reconsider. Not nothing. I will focus on development of River State.
I was a bit carried away, but interesting video. And one thing you cannot take away from His Excellency Governor Nyesom Wike is that he doesn't fail to, bear his mind and his views on things that are important to him. He says it as it is, and he does what he wants to do. And I kind of admire that about him. In Nigerian politics, if you want to master how to play politics in Nigeria, come to River State and come with a notebook, a writing pad, because you'll learn it. Check it out. In the PDP, River State is holding sway. In the APC, River State is also somehow holding sway. I'm happy I actually moved over to River State to work. Some of you are asking me questions. Someone says, would I be back on Nigeria for after the season? Someone says, when am I resuming in the morning? Where did I go to? Resuming how? Am I not here? Look at me now. How will I answer this question? All I can say is just keep supporting what I'm doing. Share my posts. Get all your friends, your family, your loved ones, to come on here. Just support what I'm doing. That's all I can say. For now. The less said, the better. Maybe in the future I might say some more. But just support what I'm doing here. That's all I can say. And I'm here for now. All right? Oh my. People are really going on social media attacking me that I'm not being fair by not telling people where I am. I'm in Port Harcourt. Okay? You just might see me at the shopping mall one of these days. I'm in Port Harcourt. Some things are just private. It's my private life. And nobody can force me to start telling my private life on social media. That's that. So if you don't hear me on radio, just take it like that. I think you can put 1 and 2 together. So support me right here. And let's see where we go with this. God bless you. I'm a moving train and no one can stop me. We shall not be stopped. My name is Kofi Betels. I love all of you. Thank you for your support. And little by little, we'll get there. Goodbye.
Thank you.